Alright, Rich Van Tassel here with you. Flash news alert. I did the NBA report earlier this morning. I didn't see this when it came across the news wires. I didn't catch this until later, and then I just got home, so I'm doing the video now for it. Blake Griffin is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand. Allegedly got in a fight with one of the assistant equipment managers, just some team employee. So he broke his hand. He was set to come back from an injury. In the next couple days, he had a quad injury, but this is going to sideline him for another 4 to 6 weeks. We'll start off first by saying there's really no place for this. I mean, players fighting players is one thing. To get in a fight with a team, employee. I was watching a video about Tim Legler saying that just can't happen. So we know that. Hopefully, Blake will learn from it and move on. The main thing is people are talking about if the Clippers are better off without Blake Griffin. They are 11-3 in his absence following the quad injury. Excuse me. So there's some talk about, hey, maybe they'll be better off without him. I don't really believe that. I think Blake Griffin's a good player. I think he's probably the best player on that team. I think he's certainly better than Chris Paul. The only person I put above him as far as value would be DeAndre Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan doesn't have nearly the offensive game that Blake Griffin does. So I don't really buy that for 1 second. A lot of that 11-3 has to do with the schedule they had, and they also were coming in the new year after Christmas, so I'm sure they wanted to get rolling. They are only 28-16, so they were 17 and 5 before, or 17 and 13 before then. I don't know where I'm coming up with 5. So through 30 games, they weren't doing that great, so I'm sure they wanted to start getting things moving, especially with the new year. That's what they were able to do. So that's where I put that as far as the 11-3 without Blake Griffin. The teams weren't that good. They've only played a couple teams above 500, one of them being Toronto, where they got crushed by the Raptors, and that's allegedly where this incident happened, was outside a Toronto restaurant. So Blake Griffin again out 4 to 6 weeks. Let's see how they respond. But number one, you can't hit your employees of the team. If it's another teammate, that's one thing. Fights happen, but not an employee. And the Clippers are certainly not better without Blake Griffin. So we did that. That's really to the point. There's not much to go with that one. So be sure to stay tuned later in the week for any other flash news alerts. And enjoy the rest of your night.